Welcome, episode 3 off the bench, an interview-style show on the Quick Hands platform, and today with me I've got a young man, which is an honour and a pleasure to have him here, young David. Hey, David, how are you, mate?
Great, thanks. Thanks for being here.
Good
Very
on you.
excited.
Good on you, mate. Listen, we like to get to know our guests. So, how about you tell the audience something about yourself?
Yeah, well, David, 25, Greek and Fijian background, and work at Paramount pre-finishing in Wetherill Park. It's all right. So just spray timber treads, and it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
David is a very passionate rugby league supporter and a very passionate Roosters supporter. So we thought we'll have him on. People tell me that youngsters are not as passionate as us old blokes, and I beg to disagree. And you'll get to know why. So Dave, tell me your first memory of rugby league.
Well, my first memory when I was younger, it's probably, honestly, like the most memorable moment I have, probably the 2004 grand final.
That the first memory?
Yeah.
How old were you then?
6 years old.
You're 6 years old. Who was in that?
Bulldogs, Roosters.
And who won that game?
Bulldogs, unfortunately.
What was the score?
16-13 to the Bulldogs.
Tell me a moment in the game which.
Well, Hazem El
which you
Masri
remember.
double movement
The
try.
double movement,
Yeah.
Hazem El Masri. Hazem El Masri double movement. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do? Tell me what's the first time you went to a ground?
Oh,
Would have been Aliens.
Yeah. Roosters versus Storm, 2019.
19. I can butt in there. I'll let the cat out of the bag. David's my godson, and I can tell him that the first time he went to a game, I can't remember the year. You'll tell me because you're sub-6. You might have been 5. It would have been Aliens, and it was the derby. It was the Roosters Souths, and the Chooks won that day.
Oh, that's great.
So it was the first time you went to.
I was very young.
You were very young. Tell me about that Roosters. Tell me about that Roosters win or that Storm game.
That was a great win. I was very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Very nervous watching because, like, I live every moment of the game.
I know you do.
Every moment, I'm like on my edge, like everything, like, and Roosters Storm, they're coming hard home, the Storm, but luckily we held them out. I remember, I think they went up against Cronk in the Roosters jersey, and when they came up against Cronk, I think the Storm, they shat themselves a bit. Right?
You reckon?
Yeah.
That was the time where he was that the shoulder.
Yeah, that was the previous year, yeah, 2018.
The previous year.
But 2019 preliminary final. This is to go versus Canberra.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Tell me, you said that you live every moment. Day by day, how many times a day would you think of rugby league, or how much of a bigger part does it play in your life, rugby league?
A pretty big part. Like, try to watch every game.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon I watch about 6 out of the, what do they have, 8 games? Yeah, 8 games with one bye. I reckon I probably watch about 6. Obviously, love watching the Roosters. Watch all the shows. NRL 360 is my favourite. People hate NRL 360. I love it. I think it's the best show.
Yeah.
Because they actually talk about rugby. They actually get into it. I love all the characters on it. Like,
Do you think the journalists there, like Buzzy and Kent, they just do it for clickbait? Or
oh yeah, 100%. But why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
So
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
To me, they annoy me. I watch it.
I saw you hating on them.
They annoy me because they do it for clickbait. They don't talk rugby league. And then when Kenty talks up his mate, Ricky, well, call what it is. Ricky was wrong.
Yeah.
Ricky was wrong. He called somebody something he should have called, and he came back to bite.
We got a dog, that one.
Well, yeah, the Wet Got a Dog. He shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To a 23-year-old young man. Mind you, this happened 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like it. I like those shows as well, Dave. But I put it where it should be, especially Buzz. Buzz entertains me. He makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Because they just hammer him. They just hammer Buzz, don't they?
Yeah, he talks like a robot. he's
You know, he's the number 1 red journalist.
Yeah?
He's the number 1 red journalist. So go
Number one red
figure.
journalist. What about the other guys? You like the other guys on there? Dave Riccio? And all that?
Ricciardo's all right. I like Carianis, but he's becoming a bit like Buzz as well now.
Yeah. Is he Greek?
Yeah,
Or is it just
he
the last
is.
name?
No, he's Greek, but that's not the reason. He used to write really good stuff, but he went and joined their newspaper,
Oh, okay.
and all of a sudden he's gone off the
Yeah.
kilter.
What, other than NRL 360,
Mm-hmm.
what other good footy shows you reckon? Like
I don't-
shows, not
Yeah,
radio.
I don't watch many shows besides 360, and I don't watch 360 all the time. I do listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, podcasts is
a lot
better.
of podcasts. Some entertaining, some really technical. I mean, I'll listen to 20 just rugby league podcasts. That's including Super League ones as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I listen to one which is in Europe as well.
Oh, wow.
So, there's one called Chasing Kangaroos.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And the Americans do it. So I listen to a lot of stuff.
There's heaps.
There's heaps. Rugby league. I'm not saying it's a humongous game, but I feel this year it's gaining traction. I don't know why. Maybe off the back of the World Cup.
Yeah.
But I can see something happening because in England it's kicking on. Big crowds, great games. In Australia, we're getting some record attendance.
Yeah.
And we're getting
Great quality games here.
well, they're great quality
Yeah.
games, aren't they?
Great quality.
It's going to settle down now, but it is starting to settle down the rugby league.
And they'll think people will think it's shit games, but that's just normal games. It's just that these few weeks have passed have been extremely great games.
Great games.
Like you barely see these type of games.
No, not all the way. Not for 6 weeks in straight. And
Yeah.
we really haven't had blowouts, and when we have had blowouts, it's understandable why there've been blowouts. You know what I mean? So it's been great. Tell me, what kind of rugby league do you like? Do you like quick, open, fast? Do you like grind fest?
Grindfest, definitely.
Grindfest. What's a
Yeah, I
grind
love the
fest to you?
Grindfest.
What's
Oh,
a-
it's like, even if I know a lot of people think, oh, it's raining and that. Even when it's not raining, you can still have a grind fest on a sunny day. I like I do like an elbow in the face. I like getting on the ground. I like in the ruck. You got to win it in the ruck. If you don't win in the ruck, you're not winning the game. Believe
Gotta
that.
win the ruck,
And you got to get in the face of the opposition and be like, we're here to win. Because anyway, what's the grind fest? It's like, really slowing the play, the ball down. I know a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people like fast open play. I love when they slow the play, the ball down. It's just that's how you get on top of the game. I feel like it's very hard to have another winning option, and I think that's the best part of the game. Honestly, I know people hate it, but I love the grind fest.
Modern day team. Who's your favourite player?
Modern day, probably Tedesco. I like Tedesco.
Everybody loves Teddy.
Everyone loves Teddy. How can you hate him?
Teddy. Who's your second favourite?
In Roosters or just any other team?
Roosters.
In Roosters, second favourite, well, I like Smith, the cheese.
Yeah.
Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith's probably overtaken Tedesco now as my favourite.
Really?
But yeah.
Is he going to be the favourite for your Roosters supporters now?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's all right. He's got to adapt to our system well. But, it took Cronk a bit to adapt. But Brandon Smith, he's a different style player, but we'll see how he goes.
Who's some of your favourite players in the league in general?
At the moment,
Yeah.
I like Payne Haas. I wish he came to the Roosters. I love Payne Haas. And he gets crapped on. A lot of these players get crapped on because of the money they earn.
Oh, I don't care.
But these players, they are really good players. Like, try going out in Payne Haas's position and play for 80 minutes.
No way.
Like, you get home and bruised, I'll tell you that. Payne Haas, Carrigan,
No.
the Broncos, they're going so good.
Yeah.
Even Spencer Linu. I like Spencer Linu. I think the Roosters signed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
How?
How? He wants to come to the Roosters. You heard him.
Yeah, but how do you fit him all under the cap?
You know what he said? He's like, I want to win a premiership.
He's
I
won
want to
two.
go to the. He's won too. So I think there's another reason he wants to come to the Roosters. Maybe he just likes the colours better.
How does Nick Politis fit them all underneath the cap?
Well, I'll tell you how. Nick Politis, he's been there for 40 years.
It's been a
30.
long,
It's been a long time. He knows how to play the game very well, like all these other people.
So, are you telling me that I've got to believe
That Roosters under the cap.
no, they're all taking unders. They're all taking unders for Roosters to be
No,
under the cap.
not at all.
Because like right now, Penrith can't hold their cattle
Yep.
because they're all getting offered big money elsewhere, so they're being split up. You watch Brisbane being split up because they're going to be offered humongous. Well, Farnsworth's going already.
Where's he going?
He's going to the Dolphins.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're telling me, and Dominic Young's coming next year. Okay.
Dominic Young.
You're telling me that you've got an international team, okay, and they're all under the cap. I don't believe it.
No, they're not. They're not under the cap. They just manage their cap the best, I reckon, compared to all the other clubs.
Then how? It's got to catch up. It's got to catch up.
It's got to catch up. Maybe not now. Maybe in 5 years, the Roosters might get 5 wooden spoons in a row. Who knows? But I reckon we just manage it the best. Like, I reckon we just manage it. But also...
Well, yeah, look, obviously they manage it the best because, again, you know, one goes and another international comes.
Yeah.
But I just don't get it. I want to believe it. I really want to believe it. I'm a Roosters fan. I love watching what they do and how they do it. I love Robbo.
Yeah.
I love Nick. But I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
I'm not saying they're under the cap. I'm just saying that they manage it the best. Compared to all the other clubs, I reckon just the Roosters, they know how to do it. They've been doing it for a long time, and they're just stuck to it. And maybe they've never got caught, or they've just pretty good at it.
Look, I'll tell you right now, I'm not angry. I'm jealous. I wish my team could do what the Roosters
Go the
do.
doggies.
You know what I mean? I wish my team could do what the Roosters do because, like I said, I'm jealous every time I watch them. You know, I love to hate them. It's like the Storm. I love to hate them.
Everyone loves to hate the Roosters and
what I mean?
Storm. Everyone.
But like I said, I pick up. What's your thoughts about this year? Do you think they'll go all the way?
Roosters?
Yeah.
Look, I would love to think that. But I think honestly, I think Panthers might get 3 in a row. Yeah, maybe.
At the start of the year, I called, and my picks are not looking good at the moment. I said the Cowboys and the Bunnies. Maybe the Bunnies. Cowboys are looking a bit shaky. I'll wait for a few more weeks. But if you ask me now, I would have said I'll say the Roosters.
Yeah. The only reason I'm not saying, like, I can't say in 20 rounds. I'm saying how they look now. And Roosters, they look good now. They look all right.
They look good now.
But there's a few issues I reckon still there. Like, I watched that Melbourne versus Roosters game the other night. They still look a bit clunky. And I love Hutcho. I love Drew Hutchinson. But he's not a centre. He's not a... Where Robbo's playing him, he's not there.
If everybody's fit, is he in the team?
Well, they've got Momirovski there. They still got Momirovski.
But is he better than Hutchinson?
Probably not. That's probably why we've signed. We've got Jackson Paulo there. It's probably why we signed Dominic Young. You know, just to fill the gap.
But is that their best? Last weekend, was that their best team?
No, Joseph Manu was out.
Manu was out. No, Manu was playing fullback.
Oh, but Teddy was out.
Oh, so
Manu's usually
Manu
in that
goes
position.
into the centres. So
they push Hutchinson out.
Hutchinson's out. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not in the first team on the run-on team, is he? If everybody's fit.
14.
14. Yeah, and then 14. Yep. Yeah, he's a good utility.
Great utility.
I'll pay that. On last weekend, you're referring to the Storm game. The Storm did what the Storm does, and they got the Roosters into a grind fest, and they just keep you in that grind fest. They just keep you in that grind fest, and what they do better than any other team, win the little moments.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a Bellamy thing. You win every little moment, that little micro moment. Okay, and at the end you win the game, and that's what happened. They won every little micro moment. So they tackled just a little bit harder. They ran just a little bit harder. Okay, they jumped on the ball just a little bit more. Okay,
yeah.
And at the end, the score didn't indicate the game. Okay, but that's what happened. I wouldn't worry about it, but that's what happened. And Bellamy's a master coach.
Yeah, great win by the Storm.
Yeah.
Great win.
It's a long, long, long way. What did I say? You win the comp in September. You know?
Exactly.
No one remembers what happened in February, March, April, May, or June. You know what I mean?
No, just wait. Well, I've heard that. Like the Roosters, for example, they treat the comp like a Melbourne Cup, like a Melbourne Cup race. Like They start off slow, but then at the end, they come strong.
Always.
It all matters about the end.
Always.
You know, that's why all these clubs like Dragons, notoriously, they'll fly off, not this year, they'll fly off to a mad start, and then by round 10, they're...
April premiers.
Yeah, April premiers.
April premiers.
That's what it's...
Reckon Suali will make the Origin team?
Yeah, well, if he does, it's because he's the best option.
Do you think he'll be the best option?
Do I think he'll be the best option? No.
Do you think Carraz will make one?
No.
win?
I don't think Jacob Carraz will make it. He's a great player, but I think there'll be other players.
What do you think of in the Origin team? What do you think of a wing combination of Carraz and Suali?
That's interesting. It's a pretty good combination.
Two big bodies.
Yeah.
Two guys who clock up run meters.
Yeah.
Look, of course, you got Adokar for the X Factor. Who was last year's? Toho. Toho, you know what? The problem with Toho is they're kicking away from him.
Yeah.
Because no one, you know, he's the best ball return guy in the game, basically. His meters. But then again, they kick to the other winger. I forget his name. What was the other winger?
The other one for the Blues?
No, for Penrith.
Do you
remember?
other winger? Who's that?
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's Tarula.
Oh, yeah, Taruva.
He's
Yeah, I
doing,
think he just came this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's doing what Toho does anyway with meters.
Yeah.
So you don't think Suali will make the Origin team?
Not the first game, at least.
Yeah.
Not the first game.
You think Latrell and
Trbojevic?
Turbo, in the centres?
Yeah. I worry about Turbo a bit.
He's not at his
He
best
looks a
at the
bit different,
moment.
eh? I think he's still injured.
He's limping around.
I think he's
isn't he?
still injured.
Would you have Hines at 5'8", or would you have
14?
No, at 5'8".
5'8"?
Run on 5'8", or would you have Luluai?
I'd still have Luai and Cleary.
Why?
Just because, like, we did lose last year, but maybe a little bit of, like, show them a little bit of loyalty because they have won in the past, and they the combination at Penrith, like, they seem to be going all right, but it's a different ball game Origin.
Yeah.
But I'd still have them there, and I'd have Hines at 14. If Luai craps himself, just switch.
Yeah, and you're thinking, of course, that you're going to have Yo at 13, so the scrum base will be all Penrith.
Yeah, Cleary at 7.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying no. The only reason I bring up Nico is because he can control the game as well. And if Cleary sometimes loses his way in big games because he's a little bit young, I think. Because what I saw him do on the weekend was, my God, unbelievable. I don't know, did you watch Penrith on the weekend?
Yeah, they were great against Manly.
And he was great. Nathan was great. But sometimes he loses his way and Nico can jump straight in there. And because he's a running 6 or 7, I call Cronulla with Nico, they're a run and gun team. Without him, they're just a standard, hit up 3 times and it's hit the edges. I find that interesting.
I feel like Nico Hines, just thinking about it, Nico Hines, like if Queensland don't play Walsh at fullback this year,
they will, but yeah.
They will. But if they choose someone else and they put Walsh at 14 or something, like Nico could be our Reece Walsh, if you know what I mean. Like I feel like they're kind of similar but different. Like Reece Walsh is more burst type. But Nico, he can come on and fill the void in us. Like if we need an extra spark, he can come on.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what they're going to do with fullback there at the Maroons. Who knows? I would use
Walsh.
Yeah. He's amazing. How he can skip outside players and hit people on the outside shoulders because he's turned the B's or C's in. He's just amazing. He didn't do that at the Warriors. I look at it and that's the success of the outside backs for Brisbane is Walsh. Yeah, because he does because they didn't have that last year.
Incredible.
And of course my man crush, Payne Haas. He's my man crush. He's my God. Every time I see him run, even they lost on the weekend, but he had a great game.
They did. Canberra Canberra bashed them.
Well, yeah, they got him into the grind.
Yeah.
And this is it. See, everybody was... If you listen to last week's pod, I said this. But they haven't been tested.
Yeah.
Broncos have
They
played.
haven't.
They've played all sort of the middle of the table teams,
Yeah.
and they haven't been tested. What happens when they get into a grind? Because at their age, they haven't been in too many grinds.
No.
Okay, so that's what happened. Canberra got into the grind and wouldn't let them go. They tried to get out of the grind. It's exactly what happened to the Roosters. They tried to get out of the grind, but Canberra kept on dragging them back into the grind. Thing is, you can't grind your whole year away. You
Yeah.
can't grind your whole. You can grind once
Couple
a
games.
month, a couple of games, but you can't grind your whole year. It's just too physically demanding. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that game.
It was a great game.
Yeah.
And props to Canberra for that win. That was a great win. You see Rapana?
Oh, how good is he?
A
After
beast.
a bad game, he had such a good game. You know what? He's getting to that 31, 32-year-old now, so it's going to be rocks and diamonds. But as long as he has more diamonds than rocks,
Yeah.
there's something there.
See all the blood he copped?
Yeah, see it squirting out of his head. There's not for
A lot of people,
everybody.
I was watching it at Rugby.
Mhm.
A lot of people going like, oh, like it's not good like that. But I love it. Like, not that I like seeing
Old
him hurt.
school. Old school.
It's old school, like I like seeing it because, and they're cleaning him up. But if he can stay on, he can stay on. And that's another thing with the HIA thing. Like that's a
What do
whole
you think about
story,
what do you think about the HIAs?
I think it's a bit overboard, but it's necessary. Like it's necessary to keep the players safe because you don't want them ending up like some players.
But how about the 15 minutes? I mean, if he gets hit in the head and he goes out for assessment, 15 minutes. I mean, if he goes off and the doctor deems him okay, well, he should be able to go back in 5 minutes. If he's okay, he's okay.
Yeah.
If he hasn't got a head knock,
I think it's like a cool down period. Like I just want him to like relax, like just cool down. Maybe your brain's still shaking, or maybe it's still something's still happening there where they're trying to make it cool down. And 15 minutes, that's probably not even long enough to be honest. And then they're like, all right, you're clear to go back on. But I reckon not every head knock is a HIA. Like
no,
not
of course
every.
not. But
No.
they've been. Look, in Europe, there's a really big class action in rugby on head knocks. Someone had concussion and they're sick, and a lot of players got together and they're suing the French or the English rugby. So have you heard about rugby now? You can only tackle around the waist.
Yeah, wow.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
It's shithouse.
Yeah, I know. It's really bad.
It's happening. I actually enjoy watching French rugby, but tackled around the waist. What's your thoughts about the six again?
6 again?
When you hear that little bell,
Yeah.
and it's 6 again there.
Yeah,
Would you prefer that, or would you prefer just for them to give straight a penalty?
Well, it works in two ways. 6 again makes the game faster. Obviously, everyone likes that. But everyone likes it, but for the players, they don't like it because they don't get a rest. Just straight 6 again. They got to just get back and get up again, defend a whole nother set again. It's hard for the players. I reckon it takes a toll. But these players, they're athletes. So, but 6 again, I do like it. I do like it. But if I was to get a 6 again for my team, I would rather a penalty, not a 6 again.
Yeah, they give. I think it's crazy in dirty ball or in their quarter. If it's a penalty or 6 again, they give the penalty. In the middle of the field, depending, they'll give either the penalty or the 6 again. But when you get into good ball, they give 6 again.
Yeah,
but that's crazy.
How can you tell what's the difference? Like, how can you tell what's a 6 again and what's a penalty? And that's what I don't like. Like, I'm not asking for consistency because there will be no consistency ever.
Try.
Exactly. But at least say, all right, this set of infringements is 6 again. This set of infringements is penalty. Because they can play, 3 players can be holding down a guy in the ruck and they'll be like 6 again. But the next one, that's a penalty because we've already given out 3 6 agains. We don't want to give another 6 again. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes the refs, I reckon I'm not saying that they're rigging games or watching the penalty counts and that, but I'm just saying that sometimes I think, okay, we've given 2 6 agains already.
You think they do that?
Next one will be a penalty. I reckon they do. I reckon. Unconsciously they do.
How about lead runners?
The lead runners?
Yeah.
as in
when the lead runner crashes into the defensive line and someone throws himself on the ground. They couldn't get to the attacker anyway, but they play dead.
Yeah.
And they score a try, and there's no try because he's blocked the path.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's a very grey area. That's
cool.
a bad area in our game because he runs the block, and then what can they do? Like he's not gonna get to him anyway, so he'll run and try and milk a penalty.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All of them are milk.
Yeah, I reckon because like people at home watching, they know what it is. So I'm sure the bunker can see, okay, so he's obviously taken a dive there. It's going to be like a no. He could have got to him. So I reckon that's an advantage that should be an advantage to the attacking team.
Okay.
Like a penalty.
So
Not a sin bin, just a penalty.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the bunker?
They're all right. I think they get a lot of criticism. I think a lot of negative criticism. I think they're trying to do what's best for the game. I don't like how they want to look at everything sometimes. But I feel like they died down a bit on that. And I feel like the bunker's actually been pretty good this year.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon.
I reckon it's been disgraceful.
Compared to last year.
I reckon the bunker and the refereeing, they've been disgraceful. What saved them is good quality games.
Yes.
So, tell me, we do Who Would You Rather. So if I say to you, who would you rather, Burton from Canterbury,
Yep.
or who's the 5'8" for Roosters?
Kiri.
Who would you rather?
At the
Kiri or
moment?
Burton? Yeah.
At the moment, say Burton.
Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon Kiri's like one head knock away from retirement.
You know what? The 2 years he's had with the Bulldogs, Burton, personally, I don't think he's shown too much.
No?
Glimpses, but have you seen him have a masterclass game?
No. But I reckon with him at Roosters, that he'll be different. I reckon he would play more like Kiri instead of playing more like a halfback. I reckon he plays more like a halfback at Canterbury rather than a 5'8".
Well, they got no halfback.
Exactly.
They got no halfback. That's the key.
Yeah. So he feels like, all right, I'm the oldest here. I came from Penrith. I got to be the responsibility man. Well, I reckon if you put him in a team where it's already got a good number 7, I reckon he would just play his free. I reckon he'll be like Munster.
Monster.
I reckon he would be like a Munster. Yeah.
What a great player.
Munster's great.
He's the pod's favourite player. Tell me about Monster. Tell me what your thoughts on Monster.
Munster.
Yeah.
Well, I do. Well, obviously Munster's a grub, but I love me a grub. I love it. You know.
I agree.
He kicked Joy Money in the back of the head.
I love him.
But he's grubs. A great player. Like if I hate a player, or if someone hates you and you're a player, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
He's a great player for Melbourne. I kind of wish he went to the Dolphins though. I wish he went for the Dolphins, but he re-signed with Melbourne till, what was it, 2027?
I think so.
A long time.
Yeah.
So he'll be there for life. So good on him.
How do you fix the Tigers?
How do you fix the Tigers?
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
Wow, you got to blow it up, start again.
Well, what's start again? What's the start
Well,
again?
it starts from the top. It starts from the top.
Isn't it funny?
Pasco.
Isn't it funny? We all know the answers.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think they're just doing it so they can save their jobs?
Yeah. You know, they're so bad. Oh, I saw something the other day on their social media. So they put I don't know if you saw this. So this is how bad the Tigers are. Not just on the field, it's off the field. What makes the company bad, the club bad. So off the field, they brought out of New Jersey, right? And Anzac jersey, Tigers, and they have on the jersey American soldiers for an Anzac Day jersey.
So they got it wrong. They didn't put Anzacs on.
And they've apologized for it, and they've cancelled the jerseys. So like. That just shows you how bad the club is, not just on the field, at the top. And I reckon that's where the problems is. It's just like there's no care at that club.
Isn't it funny? It's been a long time since they won their last game. I think, middle of last year, the last time they won the game? Won a game?
Was it against Para?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Probably
We're
this
just watching
game.
that.
Probably this game. Probably the Easter long
Yeah.
weekend. I can't remember any other victories. But isn't it funny how we all know the answers, but they just keep on making the same mistakes? Because there's nothing wrong with Madge.
Nah.
And you know what? If they think that Tim Sheens is going to take the team for 2 years, then give it to poor Benji. Benji, I love him, but he's not an experienced hard coach.
No way. I reckon it would be suicide for a first-year coach to go there.
Give it to Flano. Give it, I don't know, ring up.
Hasler. Hasler.
I agree.
Cortez Hasler.
I agree. Hasler.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, go up to Redcliffe and just put a checkbook in front of Wayne. Something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And give him the pen in his hand and say, Wayne, write whatever number you want in there and fix us up. He's probably the only guy who can do it.
If you're an emerging coach, young coach, maybe like a you were a who's Dogs coach?
Mr. Popular.
Yeah. Dogs
Serrata.
coach. Serrata. Would you want to go to the Tigers if you were
He got asked. He said
starting
no.
coach? Exactly.
He said no.
You wouldn't want to go to the Tigers anyway to coach. So they've got to make that place attractive for coaches to go, and then they'll attract the good
can't.
players.
They can't.
I know.
Well,
It's tough.
they recruited well.
Yeah.
They recruited well.
They did. They recruited pretty good. 2 good players. Couple good players.
Couple good
And other
players.
players. Papali'i and all that.
Yeah.
And they come to the Tigers and, yeah, it's bad.
How about the 2 Penrith coaches who left Penrith, Webster Who and Mr. Popular? Serrato, we call him Mr. Popular because everybody wanted him at one stage, okay? Everybody wanted him and no one knew who Webster Who was. That's why we call him Webster Who. And by the looks of it, Webster Who's doing much better
Much better. Crazy.
than Serrato.
At New Zealand.
Yeah.
They're going really well.
What's your thoughts there? Why are they going well?
Well, I reckoned no one probably knew who Webster was, and he comes to New Zealand, there's no pressure on him. No pressure. Serrato goes to inner city club, the Canterbury Bulldogs, big club, and all the pressure's on the Bulldogs. Burden, all these signings, he's got a lot of pressure on him. I reckon the other one that went to New Zealand, not much pressure on him, has a pretty easy time. You know, boys, just go out and play. You know, we're not even going to win anyway, but they have been winning.
They have been winning.
And and now they can build on that. They can build on that.
You're probably not aware. Webster has done his apprenticeship. He's coached for about in pathways and assistant coach for about 4 or 5 different clubs. He's coached in Super League, and of course we know about having 2 years under Ivan. So he's done his apprenticeship well and truly. He's been coaching for a long time.
Yeah.
So
he deserves a shot.
Yeah,
in New Zealand.
And he's been there. He's been there. He was in there. He was at the New Zealand team or the Warriors. He was at the Warriors under Pathways.
Oh yeah.
So he knows the system. So it's obvious. I mean, they lost this week, but it's obvious that he's very good.
Yeah.
He's very, very good.
Yeah, 100%. He's going well there.
Speaks well. Speaks well.
Hopefully we haven't jinxed him.
Hopefully. What do you think about this year? What are you looking forward to this year?
Well, I'm looking forward to the Origin.
Yeah.
I think I can't believe that Queensland won last year. So I think
I can tell you all about that, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there.
I think I'm a Blues fan, so I'll say the Blues will win this year, I guess. Not confident at all, though.
Yeah.
Not confident at all. I reckon Blues always favourites. I reckon Queensland are favourites.
This year?
100%. Yeah.
Why is that?
Just the Queensland. They have just the Queensland spirit's just always there. I feel like New South Wales, they struggle. They're just notoriously always struggled.
Why do they have this spirit everybody talks about?
Yeah.
What is that?
What's so special about it? Exactly.
is
How
it?
come
What is it?
How come we don't have a? I reckon it's actually you told me this once.
Tell me.
I reckon it's because when they're younger, that Queensland jersey is their premiership. That Queensland jersey is like, all right, well, you put this jersey on, you got to kill for us. Like they'll turn you into a monster in that Queensland jersey. New South Wales, it's more of a privilege to just wear the New South Wales, and taken for granted, maybe. But that Queensland jersey, they all grow up wanting to play for Queensland.
Yeah.
They want to play for Queensland. And the New South Wales players, I want to win a premiership at the Roosters. I want to win a premiership here. They don't want to win for New South Wales.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Tell me what else. You look at the Origin. Everybody looks forward to the Origin. What else are you looking forward to this year?
Just more. I want to see how the Dolphins go.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll come 8th.
See, they'll make the 8th.
8th. The Dolphins.
You think the Dolphins?
Fins up, baby.
Fins up.
Fins up.
You think the Dolphins are going to make the 8th?
Yeah, I reckon they'll come 8th.
Wow.
8th.
There you go, everybody. There's a bold prediction from Dave. Bravo, fantastic. Well, listen, the unfortunately the clock on the wall is telling us that our time is up, Dave. Thank you for having us. I think everybody now knows that not only us old guys are passionate, but so are you youngsters. You blokes love your league and you understand your league and you know your league. So thank you for being on the pod, and everybody, thank you for having us, and see you. We'll see you next week with somebody in this chair on off the bench.